How would you say job boards failed you drastically as a staffing agency owner?
Okay. Yeah, oh, I think they, in so many ways, but let's just start. I think the first one is that they were like unwilling to really listen and make changes on how they could make their service better. Like simple things. Like I was like, hey, I'll pay you extra if you'll stop like anyone who doesn't have RN listed in their profile from applying to one of my RN jobs. You know, simple ask. I said no. And I think it just, that was like one of the first moments with many more to follow that really proved like they don't want to make it better, you know? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, I'm getting what I pay for. I pay for more job posts, more job views, more job clicks, more job applications. I don't pay for better of any of that stuff. I pay for each one of them, you know, for more of them. And so like I'm not incentivizing these people. And I mean, I tried to, obviously I said, I will pay you more for this. And they're like, no, that's not our business model. And so, yeah, I think like that in of itself was the biggest failure is they failed to align their interests with mine. So I was like, this can never be a true partnership. It's the same reason I get so disturbed by MSPs that are owned by agencies. It's like, there's an inherent conflict of interest here, you know, like I'm working for my competitor who ultimately wants all of my clinicians, like, you know, like this can't work out in the long run. Well, like it won't, you know, and it hasn't. Like any agency owner will tell you who's experienced it for a number of years that they see it as a necessary evil. You know, it's just like this is the way it is. But nobody likes it. And so I think it's similar with job boards where it's like, hey, if both sides can be pissed, like how can I have so many recruiters complaining that people who are applying to their jobs, they can't get a hold of them. They're getting ghosted. And how can I have so many clinicians complaining that they're getting ghosted and they're applying for jobs and never hearing from recruiters? How can both sides be so pissed and yet the job board, the marketplace is still making money? So that was like the first and biggest one that I saw across the board. And there's a bunch of other design flaws, like just no limits on applications. And so like our recruiters would just be overwhelmed. We were getting 7,000 leads a month and we were a small shop. Like we couldn't handle it all, man. And it was just terrible because like, it's like, well, no wonder my recruiters are ghosting people. They just got too many people and these aren't even real people, most of them. And so it's just like this extra both sides were getting really demoralized. The clinicians were getting pissed because they're not getting a response and the recruiters are getting pissed because they're not getting a response. And so like, I think those were like the biggest problems. And so, yeah, I just really wanted a job board where I knew exactly what it would cost to fill the role. I didn't have to like guess. That was maybe the other worst part. And I didn't have to pay for it until I got billable hours, until the person started doing the work. I was like, that's what I want, you know? Obviously that's what I'm building.